All right, let's dive into something that's, well, absolutely critical for anyone who manages Linux systems. We're talking about upgrading your networking toolkit, specifically making the jump from the old classic netstat to its way faster, way more powerful successor, SS. And trust me, this is more than just learning a new command. It's about changing how you solve problems when things go wrong.
So, imagine this. You get that dreaded page. The site is crawling, maybe connections are just dropping, and everyone's looking at you. We've all been there, right? In that moment, having the right tool isn't just nice to have, it's everything.
So yeah, let's put ourselves right in the middle of it. A full-blown server emergency. Your heart's pounding a little, your fingers are on the keyboard, and you are on the clock. You've got to find the problem, and you've got to find it now.
The complaints are just pouring in. You've already done the usual checks, right? The application logs look fine, the database isn't breaking a sweat. So your gut, your experience, everything is screaming, it's the network. And for decades, the very first command you would have reached for was always the same one.
Which brings us to the old guard, the NetTools package. For years, this was the absolute foundation of Linux networking. I mean, if you learned Linux more than, say, 10 years ago, these commands are probably burned into your muscle memory.
Oh man, this book cover just takes you back, doesn't it? It has that perfect late 90s, early 2000s sysadmin vibe. For a whole generation of us, books like this were our Bible, and the commands inside, ifconfig, netstat, were the gospel. They were our workhorses, and they got the job done.
And the division of labor was super clear. You had ifconfig for handling your network interfaces, your server's address on the network, and then for everything else, for all the connections, who's talking, who's listening, you grabbed netstat. They were a solid duo, but the tech they were built on was really starting to show its age.
And that's where we are today, with the modern toolkit. See, the Linux kernel's networking stack got some massive upgrades over the years. And the old tools, well, they just couldn't keep up. The replacement, iproute 2, isn't just a shiny new coat of paint. It's a total engine rebuild. So iproute 2 is the new standard, and for a really good reason. It talks to the Linux kernel in a way that's just smarter and way more efficient. And for our purposes today, the star of the show is the SS command. It stands for Socket Statistics, and it is the direct, supercharged successor to netstat.
This table just lays it all out perfectly. I mean, look at the speed difference. But the reason for that speed is down on the last row, communication. See, netstat had to ask the kernel for information using this old, kind of clunky method. But SS uses something called a netlink socket, which is basically a direct, high-speed data pipe into the kernel's networking info. That's why it's so incredibly fast on a busy server. Plus, it's actually maintained and installed by default. It's kind of a no-brainer.
Let's look at a real-world example. With the old ifconfig command, you'd only see interfaces that were currently up and active. But the new way, IP address show, or just IPA if you're lazy like me, shows you every single interface, whether it's up or down. You get a complete picture instantly, no guesswork.
And here is the absolute best part for anyone making the switch. The command flags are almost exactly the same. That old command you've typed a million times, netstat-tunap, just becomes ss-tunap. The difference? What might take netstat several seconds or even longer on a server with thousands of connections, SS does it in the blink of an eye. So, let's use that speed to solve our emergency.
Okay, we're back at our burning server. The clock is ticking. But now we've got our modern toolkit, and our whole approach is about to get a lot faster and a whole lot clearer.
So, here's our new plan of attack. Step 1, a quick IPA. We just want to confirm our network interface is up and has the right address. Okay, check. Step 2, SS-LTN. This gives us an instant list of all listening TCP ports. That N flag is super important. It tells SS not to waste time on DNS lookups. In a crisis, every second counts. And finally, we zero in on the problem area.
And bam! This is the payoff. The output from SS is immediate, and the problem just leaps off the screen. You see a massive wall of connections, all coming from the same IP address. That's not normal traffic. That's either a denial of service attack, or maybe a load balancer that's gone haywire and is stuck in a loop. In just a few seconds, SS didn't just tell us there was a fire, it pointed us right to the arsonist.
So SS is amazing for seeing what's happening, but what if you need to be more interactive? What if you need to actively test a port or send some data to see what happens? Well, for that, we need to pull another tool out of the bag. Let's talk about the legendary Swiss Army knife of networking,
Netcat. Netcat, or just NC, has earned its nickname for a reason. It is unbelievably versatile. At its heart, it does something very, very simple. It just reads and writes data over a network connection. But with that one simple ability, you can do an incredible number of powerful and useful things.
So what's actually in this Swiss Army knife? Well, a lot. You can do basic port scanning to see if a firewall is blocking you. You can do quick and dirty file transfers between servers without bothering with SCP or FTP. You can do banner grabbing, which is just connecting to a port to see what service announces itself. You can even set up a simple chat server, or, for the security folks out there, establish reverse shells. It's just an essential tool for diagnostics and exploration.
So when you start to really embrace these modern tools, you're not just learning a few new commands to type, you're genuinely giving yourself a new level of speed, a new clarity, a new visibility into how your systems are working.
The big idea here is really simple. Look, it's great to know the classics. Understanding where netstat came from gives you context. But for your day-to-day professional work, you have to master the modern tools. It's the difference between trying to find a problem with a candle versus flipping on the stadium floodlights.
Okay, so let's just nail down the absolute key takeaways. First, just accept it. Net tools like ifconfig and netstat are deprecated. They're history. Your new best friends are in the iproute 2 package, specifically IP and SS. And remember, the speed of SS isn't just a minor improvement. In an emergency, it is a total game changer. Making these tools part of your daily workflow will make you a much better, much faster troubleshooter, period.
So now you've got the power of the iPro 2 suite and the amazing flexibility of Netcat. You're really equipped to take on pretty much any network issue with a ton more confidence and speed than ever before. So I guess the only question left is, what network mysteries are you going to solve now? Thanks for tuning in.